yeah, as Mark introduced me, my name's Leigh Dalwood. I'm the project director for North-South Corridor Planning. So what that means is that I lead a team of departmental and consultant resources that are required to plan the corridor, develop the business cases, and submit for funding for the projects. And been a bit lucky recently and had $1.5 billion worth of success there. So we want to keep that going. And so what I'm going to talk about is where we're going forward with planning. One of the significant differences probably over the last 12 months on the planning work for these projects has been building a North-South Corridor team. And so I work very closely with Wayne Buckerfield, who you'll hear speak later, who's Director for Delivery of the North-South Corridor projects. And what we're trying to do there is really strengthen the ties between the planning phases and the delivery phases of these projects. The other significant thing is also looking at the whole North-South Corridor as the project, not looking at its individual discrete components as individual projects, but really seeing the corridor as the project and how we can deliver this. So what's going forward in the planning world? One of the major things that I need to get my head around is building the North-South Corridor over the next 10 years. Both the federal government and state government have been very strong about aspiration to see this corridor constructed over the next 10 years. And so what will that strategy look like? Well, it'll look at how it can be achieved. It'll look at determining the order of the sections for construction. It'll look at what the funding requirements are in a cash flow sense. And it'll also look at what the operational impacts might be for building such significant north-south link through what is essentially the western side of our city for its full length. The other thing that we'll be looking at are the more detailed sections of the corridor for planning. And so what that really means is we'll be updating the design work that's been done to date on the Northern Connector. There's been significant work done on that link. We need to continue working through that and updating where it's required and making sure we're confident of what the decisions we have made to date on that project. We've also done a significant amount of planning on the Regency Park to Torrens Road section, which is, for those of you who might know, the superway down to the funded Torrens to Torrens project. We need to continue to look at that in more detail and also look at some of the design changes we've made to the Torrens to Torrens project that then have flow-on impacts for what we had previously designed north of that project. And then more for the sections that are less developed to date, the Torrens River to Anzac Highway section. So from the Torrens to Torrens project down to Anzac Highway, we've developed a preliminary concept plan for that section of the corridor. We need to now work further in detail on that section and build up some business case around getting funding for that. And then also from the Anzac Highway down to Aylifs Road. So that preliminary concept planning is currently underway and we'll be trying to wrap that up towards the end of the year. But again, that's just preliminary concept planning, so I need to do further work on that to get it to a point where we're ready to deliver it. One of the other things that we're trying to do in terms of my comment about looking at the project as being the North-South Corridor is really trying to get some standardisation and some coordination of activities across the corridor. And so some of the things we're trying to do is develop some standardised design manuals, standardisation of urban design features so that all the aspects of the corridor flow nicely as you drive through its different bits. Having a consistency to our community and stakeholder engagement across the whole corridor. Looking at how we can acquire land for the corridor and what strategies we might need to implement there. Also looking at how we might be able to do utility services design and relocations in a more corridor approach. And also looking at the ITS design and standardisation of equipment on the corridor and how the whole corridor will operate as a managed motorway in the future. So that concludes my brief comments about planning going forward. I'll now hand over to Ian Nightingale, who will talk about industry